Mike Bradley here. Hope you are doing well as always. Fuzz. Let's talk about fuzz. I got into fuzz probably about a year or so ago, just over a year ago. And I, like a lot of people, was never a massive fan of fuzz. I didn't really get it, I suppose. You know, I didn't get what the fuss was all about. It just kind of sounded a bit noisy, fuzz, you know. And I suppose, I mean, I love Jimi Hendrix, and then sometimes I hear Jimmy with the fuzz, and I would love it, and then I wouldn't love it, you know. So I just stuck with what I do, kind of thing. And then as time went on, I learned to appreciate just how great fuzz is when it's done right. And listening to great players like what Eric Johnson does with a fuzz, what Doyle Bramhall II does with a fuzz, Eric Gales does with a fuzz. Obviously I mentioned Jimmy. Steve Ray Vaughan, in about 1988, I'd say, the last kind of couple of years of his life, unfortunately, he got into fuzz. And I remember seeing the Austin City Limits, the 88 version, and he's doing Tightrope, and he kicks into that bam, down, 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 and there's oh, it's wicked, you know, and getting clean tones with a fuzz, all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be a pure ramble geek video, and kind of doing it more for me as well, because I want to hear what my 3 favourite fuzz pedals sound like side by side, okay? So on camera 2 here, I've got 3 fuzz pedals of mine, what I've collected and got, and very grateful to have. And you would have heard them all in a video at some point over the last year or so. This here is the Haze Fuzz 67 by Aura Tone, by my sock here. Love that pedal. Hopefully I'll remember to do some close-ups, you can see him as well. I got that about a year and a bit ago, and it was already a bit relicked, and I've relicked it a little bit more just through life, you know. And then we got the pedal Pawn, which is the oldest out of these 3, which I've had for a couple of years now. Awesome pedal. I mentioned about the Stevie Ray thing, that this pedal does such a great clean. I'm going to go straight into it. Does such a great clean. That's it, like so. But if I roll the volume, really nice clean. I love it. I love it. Sorry, as I was doing that, I was very noticeable. I'm doing a lot of guitar phases. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Deal with it. So that's pedal. I'll get to it all properly. And then this one here is the Myriad Fuzz by Vemuram, which I got to halfway through last year somewhere, which was a lovely present from a lovely guy who watch. I won't say your full name. I'll call you Mr. H, because that's what your name, you know. I don't want you getting some random people messaging you saying, hey, can I have a present? But I am eternally thankful for this lovely Prezi this lovely guy gave me, Mr. H. He gave me another one, actually, completely off topic. But I do need to do something with this at some point. This is the colour driver. He gifted me that as well, but really grateful for that. So yes, Vemuram, always a bit of a tongue tie, that one. They got the Jan Ray, which I've never played, always wanted to. I think that's like a souped up tube screamer. But this, I believe Josh Smith kind of co-designed this with him. And I've got another fuzz. I've got a Joe Bonamassa mini fuzz, which I don't have here, unfortunately, otherwise I compare that. But these 3 are in a completely different league to that Joe Bonamassa one. I did a video quite a few years ago, I think how to get the Jimi Hendrix clean tone or something using that. And it's cool, but I always found with that, I'd have the volume on max and it wouldn't be loud enough. You know, if I was doing it in a gigging environment, I would have, you know, my amp going, my overdrive going, and then I'll turn the overdrive off, kick on the fuzz, and it was just small and weedy. And all these three pedals have so much volume, especially this Myriad Fuzz. There is a beep ton of volume in this, a beep load of volume, I should say. They all really pack a punch. So, you know, it's, with all due respect to the Dunlop Mini Fuzz, you know, that Joe Bonamassa one, it's night and day. So let's know what, I'm going to play a couple of chords and I'm going to go between all three. I've kind of set them up independently to what I'm liking, and then we can kind of go in there. I mean, the pedal pawn is the most straightforward. It's literally volume and fuzz. The Haze Fuzz 67 has a few more. You've got 3 or 4 different voicings of them, and the Myriad does a few different things as well. I'm not going to go into the full tech of everything because I don't know it. Oh, really? Off the top of my head, it's literally, I'm a feel guy. You know, I'm all about if I like the sound of it. I don't like fiddling too much. I'm pretty sure, I don't know about this, but I'm pretty sure these two are germanium. I may quickly double check something in a minute, but yeah, let's bust out some chords. Just so you know, I'm using my lovely Music Man cutlass. I'm in the mood to play it today. And behind this massive amp, which I'll talk about in another video, this is the Ghetto amp, I'll talk about it another time. But behind that is my Fender Supersonic going into a 2 notes Captor X into Logic and then into your ears, all right? So just in the word of Andy Martin, here's my clean tone. And now if I kick on the Haze 67, pedal pawn. Vemuram. Do that again very quickly. Now, pedal pawn sounds huge, but they all do. So, if you're seeing here, I don't know how well this is picking up on camera 2 here. Hopefully, if I do that, you can see. I've got the fuzz. The volume's on about 10 o'clock, and the fuzz is on about 9 on the Vemuram. The pedal pawn, it's really hard to see. That's right, so volume is on 2 o'clock, and the fuzz is on 3 o'clock, so a lot more. And then with this, I can't really tell. Yeah, because there's no numbers on it. So this is about 3 o'clock, and that is about 4, 5 o'clock in the fuzz. So volume about 3 o'clock, fuzz is on about 4. So there's definitely more. So more on these two than that on the fuzz. So let me do this one again. And cane it. So let me do those 3 sounds again. That's a bit more fair, all right? Because I had the fuzz so much lower than that, but I was liking it. So I think hopefully you'll agree. Sorry, I've just had my lunch. Bit of windy pops coming up then. Hopefully you'll all agree. They all sound pretty huge, you know. And this is a single coil pickup, you know. Without it, oh yeah, you know, you got all that. So let's have some. Let me go through the Haze 67. And I'll put everything at 12 o'clock if I can, because I'm going to have to guess on notches. I'll say that's about 12. And that's about 12. There's no numbers on it. It's a very old school. There's no power supply. It's all battery. I do like that. I do really like that. And now that was the neck pickup. So again, kind of a cool clean sound. So that sounds really nice to me, and that's the thing with fuzz, you know, this becomes another pedal, if you will, you know, like an EQ pedal, because you get so many different tones from where that volume is. I mean, fuzz aside, you get so many different tones by controlling the kind of gain structure from your volume control. I've been doing that since I was a kid, you know. If you're an avid follower of me on here, may I mention I used to just gig with a Boss SD1 pedal and a wah-wah and a tuner, and I had a Marshall DSL 100 or 50, I always forget, and that was it. And I would clean everything up from there, you know. Then I had my Cornford, same thing. I didn't even use overdrive pedals, I just used the amp, and I would clean it all up from there. But with fuzz, this highlights it even more. All right, even more. So again, because this is an old school pedal, I don't know if it's on or off until I play. It's on. All right, that's the only thing with the pedal pawn as well. There's no lights on them, so I don't know when they're on or off. Gigging wise, it's a bit tricky, but you know, it's vintage, man. That's how it is. So again, my volume is on about 4-ish. Now if I crank it up about 6. Seven. About 8. So that's a little bit over, you know, the amp's natural volume there. Probably turn up a smidge more. So very nice, very nice. Right, let's go to pedal pawn. This is a bit easier, I can actually see. So this is bang on 12 o'clock on volume and fuzz. So this is the amp. Okay, that's a lot louder. Okay, that's so grand. Again, I wasn't sure if that Haze 67 was on bang on 12 o'clock because I can't tell. There's no arrows or anything or notches. So again, hopefully you gathered, I was just kind of slowly tearing it up and, you know, adding in more oomph to it, you know. Great pedal, another great pedal. Now this is the Vemuram, which I don't know as well, but that's, oh sorry, let's put it on 12 o'clock. Now I'm going to leave these two, which I'll talk about in a second, but so already kind of different kettle fish going on here. That's a lot more going on. Now, it's not clean, it cleans up, but not the same kind of glassy tone as these two. So if I keep the volume, what will be on here? Like 2. Pedal pawn. So this has got a lot more volume, the Vemuram. Haze. So yeah, interesting there. Back up. Now stick with the Vemuram, because what's really interesting is you've got 2 controls here, which I'm not sure you can see, but it says tone and feel, and you can kind of get a very spitty kind of sound. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to knock these back a little bit. Now let's get a really spitty sound, like almost Jack White. Much more spitty, you know, and very yeah, vintage retro. So I want to hear what that sounds like with a humbucker. So let me just change guitar. So a humbucker. Very dead silent, you know. Now if I turn that, I'm going to call it the spit knob, but it's called feel, up a little bit. It's about here. Now if I knock that down a little bit, it's about here. It's almost like a distortion, almost, you know, not distortion fuzz. yeah, it's very, very cool. Let's put the Music Man back on a sec. So a pure single coil bridge. You can hear the difference in the guitars, can't you? So there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, if I really turn, I've actually just do the tone as well. So. Yeah, I like that tone about 10 o'clock. But this is really versatile in getting some different kind of sounds, which I like. So yeah, it goes from very retro fuzz to a bit more kind of modern fuzz. Not quite as fuzzy, but you can definitely hear it's a fuzz. Hopefully that's making sense. I mean, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But I mean, I really like this. Doesn't clean up as well, I don't think, as these two. So let's go to the pedal pawn. So I've got the volume at like 12 and the fuzz I just pushed about 2 o'clock. So if I'm on clean, that kind of Stevie thing which I was mentioning about, but it cleans up so nice. You think the pedal's off now, you know. So those lovely Jimmy, Stevie, R&B, blues, soul sounds, you know. That's a song of mine called Meet Again. Now, say I'm doing a gig, I've just got one pedal, right? So there's my time will be a plague in my mind. So hopefully I'm not clipping the mic. So there I went to a little solo and then I just knocked my, I mean I'm so used to using my pinky, just knocking my finger down and I'm on 5 there. Solo about 8. So I'm not even on 10 there. That's 4. you get those kind of Stevie sounds and a whole lot more. Yeah, this is what I mean about fuzz. You know, learn how to control it using the guitar's volume control, getting little nuances and things. Let's have a little fart about with the Haze 67. So I'm going to kind of guess where things are. Yeah, fuzz is about 3 o'clock. You know, 3/4 of the way up. But we got this kind of resistor capacitor. On the back here, you can see it's very sexy. You can see it all going on. I kind of prefer it on the last one, but I might get little pops here. This is number 1. And then the middle one. That sounds really good. And the last one. My camera stopped working then, sorry, I don't know what I got up to. So this is Haze 67, I was comparing the two between the pedal board. You know, pedal pawn probably slightly brighter, but I love them all. That was a pedal pawn. Now if I go to the Haze, and the Vemuram doing a bit of. Yeah, both really all fat, you know, and all have their own different voices and stuff. And so I think, what can we gain from this? what can we gain to bring a bit of educational purposes, maybe, to you, the lovely viewer, is that I have found, I think anything to do with guitar gear, but especially with fuzzes, they all have their own voice, their own character, their own uniqueness, you know? And so it's just trying to load out. Now, these are 3 very, very good fuzz pedals here. But they all 3 of them have their own little unique sound, you know? Like I say, with the Vemuram, is probably the most versatile out of them because you can get some different ranges of fuzz sounds. But I don't think it cleans up. I don't think it cleans up as well as these 2 does. These two are very similar, bit more darker. I really like the pedal pawn, the way it cleans up. I really like that. Haze 67 cleans up great as well. But I really like that pedal pawn, how it cleans up. So not only do they all sound different, have their own unique sounds, depending what amp you're playing through, they will sound different. You know, if I put these through this amp here, it will have its own sound. If I put it through a Marshall type amp, it will then sound different, you know, reacting to the Marshall amp. So, you know, that's the thing with kind of YouTube and stuff like that, or watching guys try things out. You're hearing it through their amp. So the best thing to do is go on the journey, enjoy the journey in hunting out the stuff what is good for you. You know, as even you heard when I played this guitar and then went to my Bradcaster guitar, it sounded, this is a lot more darker kind of sound, you know. Getting some work done on the neck soon as well. I'll talk about that soon, but just a little reshape. So yeah, they all have their own sounds, have their own voicing, will react differently to each guitar you're playing or each amp you're playing. But these are some really good fuzz faces out there. Well, I say fuzz faces, fuzz pedals, but you know, all kind of based on a fuzz face. I think the pedal pawn is based on the Cesar Diaz, is it Texas Square Face, I think it's called, or something like that. It's based on that, what Cesar Diaz did for Stevie Ray. And Chris, who makes pedal pawn, I'm seeing a video he posted on YouTube, and he played them side by side. And I actually preferred the pedal pawn over the Cesar Diaz one, which sounded lovely, but I think that was about £600-700. And which is a lot of money, and a pedal pawn is quite a bit down from that. Again, I should say these are all quite expensive. I think the Vemuram's about 300. I know in UK sterling, I'm afraid, but Vemuram's about 300. Pedal pawn, I think, is about 200, and the Haze 67 is about either 400 or 600. It's quite expensive. But you know, when I compare it to my Joe Bonamassa Mini Fuzz, which I think is about, how much I pay for that? Oh, it's so long ago. I want to say like 100 and something, £120 maybe. Hard to remember. It's about 5-6 years ago. It's in another league. These, you know, these are like Premiership, and with all due respect to the Dunlop Mini Fuzz, it's like Division 4 or something, you know. It's still cool. It's still a sound, you know. I'm not saying it's terrible. It's just in a completely different league. So I'm looking forward to hearing some of this back, so I can hear it, you know, hourly and the audio recorded and whatnot. But these are my 3 favourite fuzzes. I'm having a lot of fun playing with them, nearly every day. And I change it up all the time, you know, it depends on the mood I'm in. But they're all 3 very special pedals, which I'm so internally grateful for having. But enjoy the fuzz journey. There's a load of fuzz pedals out there. There's a really cool one, King Tone, Jesse Davies, is it King Tone? I've yet to play it, but his pedals look so cool. And what I hear, they sound very cool, you know. So yeah, there's that, and there's a load of cool fuzz pedals out there by famous brands and smaller boutique guys, you know, because the circuit to a fuzz pedal is so small, you know. It's very small. Scott McEwen's got a good fuzz pedal out as well. I haven't played it, but what I hear, it sounds remarkable, the SM Fuzz. But what I'm saying, just when the shops open again where you are in your world, just play through loads, you know. Go for an amp which you have, or similar amp to what you have, and if you're a Les Paul guy or a Strat guy, whatever, Telly guy, Rickenbacker guy, use the guitar what you predominantly use, and play about 5, 6, 7 pedals in the shop, you know. And then chances are you probably want to take 2 or 3 of them home, and the other 3 you don't want to touch. Or maybe 1 or 6, I don't know. And I apologise if you've got a wife or husband and you've got to hide the credit card receipt. Anyway, I'm waffling. Lots of love. Mike Brady signing out. Bye.
Faded away.